Hey there, quirky folks. Today we're going to talk about how Tony Stark is responsible for all the villains of Spider-Man No Way Home as well. Tony literally started off the MCU for everyone. He became the biggest hero to have ever existed on the silver screen. But he was responsible for a whole lot of chaos as well.
You built this program. Why is it trying to kill us?
As Vision said, the moment he publicly announced the fact that he was Iron Man, catastrophes began to happen on a regular basis.
8 years since Mr. Stark announced himself as Iron Man, the number of known enhanced persons has grown exponentially.
He's saying it's our fault?
I'm saying there may be a causality. Our very strength invites challenge. Challenge incites conflict. Conflict breeds catastrophe.
I mean, one could argue that conflicts and catastrophes had been happening long before Stark called the press conference. There are a lot of events with superhero conflicts before 2008. The events of Black Panther, Captain Marvel, Captain America, and Eternals could provide several evidences for that, but they were all rather discreet or forgotten about. Stark's announcement really opened everyone's eyes. Then, the number of destructive events just kept happening one after the other. And Stark became directly or indirectly responsible for many of those.
Or did I just mishear you, or did you agree with me?
Oh, I want to take it back.
No, you can't retract it. Thank you. The press is okay, case closed. I win.
While he is the savior of the entire universe, many people argue that he is actually the biggest MCU villain as well.
If anything, it's kind of your fault that I'm here.
What did you just say?
I take that back. And now I'm here in space.
Yeah, right where I didn't want you to be.
First off, he made a fortune selling arms to evil organizations. In doing that, he also became responsible for the villainy of Obadiah Stane and the creation of his suit directly.
Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave with a box of scraps.
Well, I'm sorry.
Ivan Vanko and Aldrich Killian had Tony Stark written all over them. Then, the big planet-destroying villain, Ultron, took birth mainly because of Stark's tinkering.
Have you been juicing? A little vibranium cocktail? You're looking, I don't want to say puffy.
You're stalling to protect the people.
That is the mission. Did you forget?
Stark came up with damage control, which gave rise to the Vulture. He tossed Quentin Beck's tech aside, which hurt Beck's ego.
I told him it was a mistake, that my technology could change the world. And then he fired me.
So he in turn destroyed parts of Extenco, Morocco, Venice, Prague, London, and Peter's life.
Spider-Man's name is Peter Parker. What the
Even after Stark's death, we're getting multiple villains who are wreaking havoc partly because of him. And it's going to be total chaos when his tech starts to fall in everyone's hands and cause the armor wars. But for now, it's crazy that all the villains that Stark is responsible for are going after his protege, Spider-Man. Peter fought two big villains of Stark's creation in Spider-Man Far From Home. And now, even when the next batch of villains are coming in through the multiverse to take him on, Stark is still going to be partly responsible for them. You may ask how? Well, here's how No Way Home is going to follow the Spider-Man villains trend. The first villain that I'm going to talk about is Dr. Octopus. He is another brilliant scientist who comes from a different universe and starts to fight the Spider-Man of MCU.
Hello, Peter.
Do I know you?
While battling him, his metal tentacles somehow end up being compatible with the nanotech of the Iron Spider suit. And the nanotech actually enhances those extended arms. So once again, a piece of Stark tech gives a villain a huge upgrade. But that's not it. The next villain who will probably get a few Stark upgrades is Norman Osborn. We know that William Dafoe's Green Goblin is going to show up on his new glider. But later in the movie, he will remove his helmet and make a few upgrades to his suit. Now we know that Norman Osborn is also a man of science. So who is ready to bet that he also gets his hands on a bit of Stark tech and uses it to make upgrades to his suit? Well, I'm certainly calling it. That's because he might use that tech to give his companion an upgrade too. I'm talking about Electro. Max Dillon is getting a total makeover. He is not bald anymore. He has a perfect set of teeth and no confidence issues. In short, his pre-Electro state is totally badass. But even his Electro phase is drastically different from what we saw in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Firstly, he is not blue. Second, his power seems to be tech-based, not any ordinary tech. His source of power is actually an arc reactor. Dylan may or may not be smart enough to create his own electrifying suit and tech. But because he is working with Norman Osborn, I believe that Normie is the one who empowers Dylan by using Stark tech. So, that's 3 out of the 5 incoming villains whom Stark is indirectly involved with. I don't think Sandman or the Lizard will have something to do with Stark's gadgets. But 3 out of 5 is still a big number. That's how No Way Home continues the trend and keeps Stark in the loop even a year after his death. Okay, that's all. What else do you think Tony could be responsible for in No Way Home? Let us know in the comments. Give us a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button if you enjoyed the video. And don't forget to check out some more fun content on our channel. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye!